The adult animated sci-fi series Rick and Morty has been a huge hit, not to mention iconic with its catchphrase "Wubba Lubba Dub Dub." And as much as we love it, Rick and Morty admit how stupid its main hook is. Admit it how though, and in what way? If you're curious to know, then you'd better keep on watching to find out more. Although Rick's catchphrase "Wubba Lubba Dub Dub" has become a household phrase, Rick and Morty Season 6, Episode 4 acknowledged how ridiculous it is. Just recently, Rick and Morty acknowledged how ridiculous Rick's catchphrase is. Night Family, the 4th episode of Rick and Morty Season 6, pitted the Smith family against ominous mirror images of themselves. Rick introduced his family to a device called the Somnambulator when it was revealed that he was doing crunches while he was sleeping. People were transformed into night persons, sleeping copies of themselves who would unintentionally fulfill their obligations to them. Beth, Jerry, Morty, and Summer decided to use the gadget as well, since they wanted to be free from their tasks. To get abs, Rick and Morty told their counterparts to do crunches all night. After doing that, the duo launched a podcast called Fabsolutely Abulous, which is well named. Rick and Morty watched an advertisement for their sponsor, the underwear brand Boxer Lobster, while they were filming an episode. Rick refused to speak the company's catchphrase, "Wubba Lubba Dub Dub," as Morty revealed at the end of the commercial. The joke made fun of the fact that the show's slogan is a highly marketable component, demonstrating how ridiculous Wubba Lubba Dub Dub is supposed to be. In the Rick and Morty Season 1 finale, Rick See Business, Bird Person revealed that the phrase in his native tongue meant, "I am in great pain, please help me," serving as another illustration of Rick's existential dread. The phrase was first uttered by Rick at the conclusion of Season 1's 5th episode, Me Seeks and Destroy. The phrase "Wubba Lubba Dub Dub" is now often used on merchandise due to its enormous popularity. The phrase was even turned into a Google Easter egg. However, the 6th season of Rick and Morty's 4th episode served as a reminder of the phrase "purposefully random and absurdity." A meta-allusion to Wubba Lubba Dub Dub's unforeseen success and marketability was made when it was mentioned in Night Family. Wubba Lubba Dub Dub was an improvised statement meant to make fun of TV and movie catchphrases, such as Sheldon Cooper's Bazinga in The Big Bang Theory, as Rick and Morty writer and star Justin Roiland revealed in an interview with Den of Geek. It was therefore a comical development to see it become a program staple as a result of how well audiences received it. However, Rick and Morty Season 6 4th episode emphasized to viewers that Wubba Lubba Dub Dub is not a real phrase. It is a pastiche of catchphrases used to highlight the show's sarcastic viewpoint. So, can our favorite titular character still use the Wubba Lubba Dub Dub catchphrase? Could Wubba Lubba Dub Dub be retired since Rick and Morty so forthrightly admitted that it was always intended to be a foolish joke? No, not always. Wubba Lubba Dub Dub is probably still around, despite Rick's hesitation to speak, it perhaps being a fourth wall-breaking hint from the show's creators to viewers that it won't be used again. The phrase was always intended to be a witty parody of movie and television catchphrases. It was never meant to be a defining characteristic of Rick Sanchez's persona, and the show never accepted it in that capacity. Even the fact that the real meaning of the phrase is related to Rick and Morty's sad history was meant to surprise viewers, as Justin Roiland told Entertainment Weekly. "We were making fun of the idea of stupid catchphrases. At first, it wasn't all that, and then it was funny because it was a dumb catchphrase, and then we subverted it by making it mean something really depressing. The hardcore fans get the irony behind it, but I think some fans maybe don't." The joke extended the show's satirical use of Rick's catchphrase to Night Family. It simply added to it, making it perfectly evident what this statement really meant. The fact that Wubba Lubba Dub Dub has not actually had much of a presence in the show is another crucial factor to take into account. It hasn't been spoken about much, so it probably won't be mentioned for a while. However, as it was stated in Rick and Morty Season 6 Episode 4, its disappearance will not always indicate its retirement. The phrase "Wubba Lubba Dub Dub" has become synonymous with Rick and Morty, and despite the show's criticism of how stupid it is, Rick Sanchez is still allowed to use it. And in other related news, 6 seasons into the show, and Rick and Morty continue to do the series' weirdest trend. Have you noticed this as well? If you haven't, make sure you keep watching to find out more. Incest is once again a major plot point in Rick and Morty Season 6, Episode 5, Final Desmithation, continuing one of the show's most bizarre trends. Although Rick and Morty are known for blurring the boundary between acceptable and unacceptable by including episodes focusing on a variety of taboo subjects, incest has emerged as a recurring motif in the show's more recent seasons. Although Final Desmithation takes this unusual pattern and makes it even stranger, it is by no means Rick and Morty's first dive into incest tales. In the opening scene of Final Desmithation, the Smith family is dining at Panda Express before going on a trip to the zoo. Each member of the family is reading their fortune cookie fortune. Jerry's fortune, which surprised everyone because most of the Smiths received generic predictions, states that he will have sex with his mother. As a result, Rick and Jerry opt to stay behind while the rest of the Smith family visits the zoo so that Rick may perform some calculations regarding the likelihood that Jerry's prophecy will come true. As a result of his discoveries, the team starts looking into the matter and finally infiltrates and overthrows the Fortune 500 fortune cookie company, stopping Jerry at the last minute from having incestuous with his mother. The 5th episode of Rick and Morty Season 6 is the 4th in the past 2 seasons to heavily emphasize incest, which is a weird subject to return to so regularly. This episode follows Bethic Twinstinct, in which Beth and Space Beth, 2 of Beth's clones, engage in love and interactions. The episode centers on Summer and Morty's unsettling reactions to this couple, but even before that, in Rick Dependence Spray, the 5th episode of the 5th season of Rick and Morty, Morty's huge mutant sperm accidentally fertilizes Summer's huge egg. That's 4 episodes that revolve around incest throughout seasons 5 and 6, turning this weird trend into a pattern, but the most recent example makes it even weirder. Later, in Gotron Jerrysis Rickvangelion, episode 7 of season 5, Morty and Summer's giant incest baby shows up again to show what happened because of Rick Dependence Spray. And now, the incest trend is made even weirder with Rick and Morty Season 6 Episode 5. The show's previous incest stories were already strange, but Final Desmithation amplifies how crazy it can be. The giant incest baby was generated, at least initially, by sperm and eggs that were outside of Morty and Summer's bodies. Hence, there was no sibling in the episode. But in Final Desmithation, Jerry's mother and son almost have a act before Rick intervenes and exposed Jerry and his mother are flying toward each other. In the past, Rick and Morty's incest storylines have only addressed the results of incest or the relationship between clones, the latter of which has sparked controversy over whether it actually constitutes incest. The episode Final Desmithation, on the other hand, is by far the oddest illustration of Rick and Morty's weirdest trend because it only has Jerry almost having sex with his mother. With this show, you can't get enough weirdness since Rick and Morty somehow made one NSFW sci-fi trope even weirder. The strange sci-fi trope of a person falling in love with their clone has become even stranger thanks to Rick and Morty Season 6. Now in its 6th season, the program has addressed the topic in a peculiar, unique manner. A Beth Smith clone named Space Beth was first presented in the Season 4 finale of the program, Starmort, Rick Turn of the Jerry. Rick made the clone so he could send one of his daughters into space and keep the other one on Earth. Rick and Morty's 6th season saw the return of Space Beth. She and Beth are seen having an affair in Episode 3, Bethic Twinstinct, which is known to everyone in the family but Jerry. Even on its own, the notion of a person falling in love with their clone is strange, but Rick and Morty give it a unique twist. For starters, several previous initiatives that looked into it made subtle allusions to the possibility that such a relationship would be more closely related to narcissism. One of the strangest plotlines the series has yet to examine is Beth's affair, but in keeping with the way Rick and Morty develop their characters, they use humor and absurdity to touch on Beth's journey through her emotions and give the audience a peek inside her head. With that, we're done with today's episode about Rick and Morty. For you, which episode do you think is the weirdest so far? Let us know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching today's video, and before you go, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on for more videos like this. We'll see you again next time.